Is buying a Gamecube worth it? For over a year, I've wanted a Gamecube. I see videos saying to get one, I see games that look great, but I've almost always been left with this feeling. The videos are guided by bias. These people have always played the Gamecube when it was released. So as a person who's a bit younger, never got one as a child, and never hopped onto the bandwagon since I didn't know if it was worth it, I will attempt to present the views of if you should get a Gamecube without the field of nostalgia blinding me. Should be easy enough, right? Well, I hope so. Then again, I love the Wii and most of these games and brands, so we shall see if I can rank it objectively. Of course, this console is old, and the games are too, so I need to consider it correctly from when it was released. For example, judging it by today's standards would be stupid. Still, if there are obvious issues, that is a problem, and I need to consider it if people going back to it will enjoy it. Sure, it could be great for its time, but that doesn't mean it's great now. So without any further ado, my name is Morgan, and this is the AM Awake channel, and let's get down to business. I've already explained my fascination with this console. I feel the fact it's so close to what I am used to on the Wii, and it's a Nintendo console released within my life that I never played, has generally contributed to this. But the prices are all over the place, and frankly, it is overpriced in so many ways. The price keeps on rising too. Nonetheless, for the sake of my curiosity in this video, I have indeed brought a Gamecube. The game that really appealed to me was Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Just playing those drums looked so fun. I've played Luigi's Mansion, Mario Sunshine and Mario Kart Double Dash before, so I started with this game, a new game for me. Obviously, I can't review the games, that would take a ridiculous amount of time to do on the top of this video, but I can review the system in comparison to the games it has, meaning a short review of if they are fun or not, especially compared to the current standards of the Switch and what I'm sure many people have played, being the Wii games. Choosing one console was a daunting task. There are so many colours and so many variations. The main thing you need to know is the region. For example, for my European friends, you will want a PAL console. I am English, that is PAL, that's what you need to play. The other thing to consider, of course, is the number, and by this I mean the variation of console. The earlier consoles had an extra port, which could be useful for attaching it to an HD TV. Though, of course, as always with these things, you need another cord to do that. And these cords are super expensive too, so I've not brought one of these. But these are early consoles. These are DOL 001, DOL 1. If you see a 101, that's the later model. Perhaps don't get it, you never know. Probably useful to get an earlier model in this case. Does it really matter? No, but perhaps it could to you. Then there are things such as condition. Since these are all second hand, the condition will vary wildly. Also, you got to bear in mind the controller condition, although you can buy more controllers, so. You want to buy one with a controller, and with the cables, and with a memory card. The memory card is so important for saving your games. Unlike modern consoles where you have a certain amount of storage built into it, this you need to have an external memory card which you plug in to be able to save your games. Well, after weeks of searching, I found one. I got a Buy It Now console from eBay. You may want a bidden one, perhaps you could get it cheaper, but then they tend to increase in price a lot, so, whatever suits you. There's some good deals to be had though, if you're patient with it. Then, we need to consider games. Well, that's preference based of course, but I recommend using pricecharting.com and searching for what the price of the game should be based on current sales to ensure you don't overpay. I used that website a ridiculous amount to make sure that I didn't overpay for anything. I got a console that came with the Donkey Kong bongos, so it was more expensive than the average, but it did have the bongos. As far as games are concerned, I have Jungle Beat and the Donkey Konga game, which I believe they came with in the first place when it was on sale. So, my console doesn't work. I spent a stupid amount of time trying to fix it. It powered on, and the sound works, but there's no video. After my research, I have found there are basically two options. Either the cable is broken, or worse, the motherboard is damaged. This one, if the motherboard is damaged, that's going to be a problem. Buying a second-hand one from eBay, of course, always has its limitations. So make sure to buy one that says it works. I mean, mine said it works, and I was still unlucky. But, you know, it is what it is. After 2 hours of testing the item, I had determined it was indeed broken. Damn. But I had an idea. If I could determine what the issue was, I could fix it. Well, another hour down the drain, even using a bloody multimeter, and I was about 50% sure the cable was broken, and the other 50% was the console. So basically, I was in the same place I was before, but you know, it sounds better this way. I couldn't fit the damn multimeter into the cable. But anyway, I had sound and no video, so with any luck, I felt it was more likely to mean that the yellow cable part was broken. I hope so, at least. After a quick Amazon visit, I had ordered and replaced an unbranded cable for only £6. A bargain when I've already spent money on this console. Oh gosh, the money just increases, doesn't it? Annoying to spend money again, but at least I had hope. Do we not have anything without hope? I'm not sure that made sense. One day delivery is truly a dream though, because within 24 hours it arrived and I plugged it in. And oh my god, what the freaking heck? It didn't work. It didn't work. I was pretty devastated. Well, only for like half a second, because I realised I had the TV on the wrong source. I didn't have it on the wrong source the previous day, but when I got this new cable I had it on the wrong source, which is just so stupid. I changed the source and hallelujah, it worked. Glory, yes, I own a freaking Gamecube. Years of nostalgia flooded through me in that moment for a console I didn't know about until 2 years ago. Kinda ironic, but it certainly brought me back to the Wii days. My console come with bongos and Donkey Konga, so it was time to break out the drumming inside me. And I've never played a game like this before, so I gotta say it was super hard. I put the game in the console and I watched the glorious opening sequence. Truly glorious. The startup for the console just makes me smile. Oh, that noise. It's perfection. I don't know why I like that so much, but I just do. Then it was time to conga. As I said before, I've never played a game like this. And, apart from a bit of djembe drumming at school, I'd never even played drums, so, I was bad, to say the least. But it was very fun. The theme song to the game, it was just this singing, and it was glorious. And then slowly, I learned the controls. Honestly, I had to look it up because I wasn't sure what was going on. And then I realized I had the GameCube games come with this booklet, and I had the booklet, and inside it shows the controls. So I didn't really need to look it up. I just forgot to look at it. But anyway, the moment was amazing. Amazing. It's not like I even particularly wanted this game, like Donkey Konga. I'm pretty sure that's how the song goes. Donkey Konga. Da, 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 da. Donkey Konga. Donkey Konga. Anyway, I didn't particularly want this game, but for some reason, the fact it has a microphone, and this is in the drums. The fact it has a microphone, oh my goodness. Why was this so thrilling to me? I didn't expect something from 2002, like a little weird controller thing like this to have a microphone in it. I don't know why, but I didn't. For a console produced the same year I was born, it really hasn't felt that dated, at least so far. Sure, the graphical limitations have been apparent, but the console itself is fairly small. The controllers are great. I'm enjoying the controllers. And the one game I had played at this point, well, for the most part, it felt the same as a modern gaming experience. Sure, it was a very weird game, but it never felt limited by its age. It was very much a Nintendo product. It was strange, it was weird, it was amazing. It was weird. Weird. But weird is not bad. Don't let anyone say that weird is bad. Still, this short adventure in the GameCube was just the beginning. Playing Donkey Konga is hardly ever going to determine greatness of a console. I mean, who's going to look at a console and say, oh, it plays Donkey Konga? It's definitely fantastic. I hope no one looks at a console and says that simply because it plays that it's amazing. But it was time to bring out the big boys. Yes, I brought Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, which I already mentioned, so you know. And yes, drumming is now my passion. I am a drummer. Soon you'll see me drumming for all of the big bands out there. I won't be naming it. No, I played, seriously, Donkey Kong seems to be my passion now. The week I brought this, I played like 5 Donkey Kong games on different systems. Donkey Kong was bringing me back to the good old days. What good old days you're saying? The Donkey Kong good old days, that's what, I don't even know what I mean. But without going into too much detail about this game, which I can do in a separate video, it was fun. It was good. The Donkey Bongers, that's what they're called, the Donkey Bongers, are such a strange thing. They are weird. They are amazing, and as a controller, they are pretty versatile actually. I'm rather surprised by the amount you could do with them. I really enjoy them. I've got to say they're really cool. I'm looking at them right now, and I do love them. But my GameCube experience up until this point has been very limited to a very sidelined area of the console's history. In other words, bongos aren't exactly representative of the console. So it is time to play some games that use the actual controller. Yes, not the bongos, but the actual controller. For a short intermission before we get to the rest of the games, I would like to discuss the console in design. The console is a small cube with a nice handle. It has a ridiculous amount of ports, but the front ones and back ones are the important ones. That's pretty much all you need to know for now. All controllers use the same wire port to connect to the front. It's a weird little port thing, but I like it. Apparently a Wavebird controller has Bluetooth attaching to it. It's a Bluetooth port, you attach it into it, and then it's Bluetooth controller. I don't know, I don't have one. This is from research, you know what research is like. But these controllers feel great, I do really like them. My one's in pretty good condition too, and the joysticks seem to be better made than any modern controller I have seen. I don't just mean Nintendo Switch, I literally mean any modern console joysticks going back for the past 10 years. I'm surprised by this. The console has 2 wires to make the system run, one being the power supply of course, and the other being an AV wire with a very weird connector for us of the present, for anyone who is not pretty darn young. I would say that it's probably not weird to you, because you probably remember it. I remember using these. I don't remember well, I'm a bit too young, but I'm kind of in the middle of the age group for it. But basically, apart from being technologically irrelevant in the current age, the wires are standard. And you need an old TV to run this. You really do need an old TV. So the connectors, one for video, one for power. The colour of the console is pretty nice. Mine is black. And the controller I have is ironically a purple one. I like this a lot though. The purple is so nice. And the purple console itself actually looks really nice too. Both look. Pikmin is on a completely different level to Resident Evil. I love Pikmin 3, and I was scared this game would be a letdown in comparison. But damn, it's just as good. It may be a bit older, but it's still so much fun. Honestly, it really plays quite similar. I'd seen videos on it. I thought it would play similar, but it really does. I was concerned it wouldn't, but it does. So, what else can I say? The GameCube's a fun experience, the games in it are revolutionary, and many stand the test of time, even those that don't seem to have a worth. If you want this console simply for the games, then maybe I wouldn't recommend it. After all, these games are old, and many have been ported. In fact, if you have one of the older Wii's, then your Wii will be able to play all GameCube games, so potentially you could just buy the games and then play it on the Wii, but who knows. But for the experience of owning the console, experiencing a dive into the past, it is so cool, and if you're a bit older too, around 20 years old perhaps, I would recommend it even more, simply for the fact that you likely grew up with the Wii as your first console, and the GameCube really reminds me of the Wii in a great way, Sure, the Gamecube prices can be shockingly high, but when considering the value of the product, it doesn't seem quite as bad, as long as you make sure to buy on eBay for the lower prices, that is. I mean, most of these games are going for about 10, 15, 20 pound, apart from some weird ones like Paper Mario goes ridiculous prices, like £100. But the lower side games go for a decent price and consider their worth and how much you want them, and it doesn't seem quite as bad. So far, I've had a great time with my Gamecube. Do you need a Gamecube? No, absolutely not. You don't need a Gamecube, but if you're considering one, give it a go. Grab the game you want most and play through it. The worst thing that can happen is you sell it in a month or two and lose a few pounds for the postage. At least, that's how I view it. At the moment, I'm not planning on selling mine, but you never know. I look at it, and I enjoy it. I sit here looking at it, and I really just enjoy looking at the console. And the games themselves are fun. The console is fun. I'm enjoying mine. But I always have at the back of mind that when I've had enough, I can just sell it on for a similar price to what I bought it for, because they will sell for a similar price. And as long as you keep yours in good condition and it works, that will be fine. So, worst thing you happen is you sell it. Well, I have been Morgan. This has been the AM08 channel, and this video examined the Gamecube. Did you buy a Gamecube, or are you thinking about buying one? Comment your questions down below, and I will try to answer as many of them as possible. I answer pretty much all the questions that I get on YouTube videos, so there's a very high percentage that you will get it answered. If you haven't subscribed already, I would really appreciate a subscription. I mean, if you've made it this far, you might as well subscribe. I would say that, of course, so wouldn't I? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Like and subscribe for more. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye and peace. I don't know why, but I really do find myself just sitting, staring at the Gamecube. It just looks wonderful. Also, as I said before, you'll need an SD card for it, or a memory card for it. Some specific Gamecube one is required. I really don't remember what it's called. But there's no internal storage for saving your games without it, so you really do need one. I recommend the 16 megabyte one. I know megabytes, tiny. Who would think of megabytes in this day and age? But yes, megabytes. You want megabytes, not even gigabytes. This is shocking. I can't get over it. No, I can get over it. I'm old enough to get over it. Some of you might not be. Perhaps you're older and you still can't. But no internal storage for your games. Probably not a good idea, is it now? Anyway, I think it's time to cue the Donkey Kong outro music. I'll leave it to you, Donkey Kong.